Are you looking for the best portable welder? In this video we will look at some of the 3 best welder on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Forney Easy Weld 261. In Fort Collins, Colorado, Forney Industries has relished its near 90 years as a leader in welding machines and equipment. In fact, they were the first company to sell a consumer-grade arc welder, way back in 1940. That gift for ingenuity is clear from the first moment you open Forney's Easy Weld 261. This is the company's most popular welding machine. It's a flux-core, or gasless MIG, design that uses .30 flux-core wire. From the front panel you can see it has infinite wire speed and voltage to adapt to any project. This is an entry-level welder with professional bones. It impressed me with its beefy 140 amp power cycle. Forney says it can weld up to 1/4 steel, but I've seen videos of consumers welding thicker than that without overheating the unit. Coming in at 19 pounds, the Forney Easy Weld 261 is an ideal portable welder. I envisage no sprained backs or sore arms from unloading this machine off a truck or pulling it off a shelf in a tinkerer's garage shop. As a gasless MIG welder, you cannot hook up an inert gas. That means the welder outputs plumes of smoke. You can curb the fumes a little by buying quality wire. But if you plan to run this thing inside, you'll need ventilation. Opening the hood, you'll notice a spool adapter for small and large wire. Like most budget machines, the wire drive is made of plastic. The rollers are steel, along with the bolts, but if the plastic knob breaks, you must buy a replacement from Forney. This machine includes an 8-foot MIG gun, 8-foot ground clamp, torch wrap handle, and an adapter for 15 amp to 20 amp plugs. You'll need to buy contact tips and flux-core wire before welding with the Forney Easy Weld 261. I found the welder performed well on a 15 amp breaker. So if you plan to run this at home, either outside or in a shed, you should be fine. If possible, have a dedicated 15 amp breaker for thick gauge welding, as it might pop a breaker on high voltages. On a 20 amp breaker, the 261 competes with welders twice its price. It has a commendable duty cycle and works well for repair work or small projects. I think this is the best portable welder for small projects. It comes highly recommended for beginners or amateurs. At number 2. vivohome Portable Flux-Core Wire Welder. vivohome is a Chinese manufacturer with an impressive list of products. From fruit juicers to electric fireplaces, if you're looking for bargains for your home or office, they'll most likely have it. A reader turned me on to their flux-core welder recently, and I ordered one and put it through my rigorous testing process. The consistency of this machine's welding ability shocked me. It runs on 115V power, which means a 15 amp house breaker will supply you with more than enough power to weld up to 1/4 steel. The overall build quality is subdued yet impressive. The outer shell is stainless steel with a black matte finish. It doesn't scuff easily and should repel most cases of rust and corrosion. vivohome organized the front panel with easy-to-understand switches. You have an adjustable dial for your wire speed and 2 switches for a total of 4 current flow settings. At its highest setting, this portable flux-core wire welder runs for around 2 minutes per 10-minute on cycle. That's lower than your average welder. But at this rock-bottom price point, you won't find anything better. I really like the consistent feed for your flux-core wire. Opening the hood, I discovered the feed wheel has notched grooves. I've tested welders in this price range before and rarely do they have grooved wire feed wheels. The welder weighs around 30 pounds. That's more than the Forney model, but still within the portable welder range of approximately 50 pounds. It's compact and should easily fit in a small storage space or shelf. With the portable flux-core wire welder from vivohome you get a welding gun, ground clamp, welding helmet, wire brush, 2 contact tips, and a spool adapter. You must buy flux-core wire before operating the machine. There are some downsides. First, there's no contactor to energize the flux-core wire, so it's always active. This is an annoyance when working on big projects where you must move your metal around in between welds. Essentially, whatever the tip of the welding gun touches will trigger the flux-core wire. Last, hunt for tutorials online. The instructions that ship with the unit are badly written in a half-senseless version of English. You can find a ton of tutorials for similar welders, however, so you can easily remedy this inconvenience. I recommend the vivohome portable welder for beginners and small shops planning small-scale welding jobs. Also, it'd be fine for on-site farm machinery welding where you only have access to a gas generator. At number 3. Goplus MIG 130 Welder AC Flux-core Welder. Goplus ships thousands of SKUs around the world. They sell a range of products in over a dozen categories, including home and garden and home improvement. When you want to save money without losing quality, they're an ideal brand from which to buy. The Goplus MIG 130 Welder AC Flux-core Welder is a prime example of Goplus's money-saving superiority. It's an AC welder that runs on 115 V horsepower. I usually consider AC welders the lower end of the welding spectrum. That's because they run hotter and overheat faster. But Goplus's machine surprised me. Working with this welder, I found it to be a fantastic value for the price point. We're in the bottom tier here, so don't expect to weld clean exhaust pipes or trailer hitches. For milled steel you'd find around your house, however, you'll get your money's worth with the Goplus MIG 130 Welder AC Flux-core Welder. This is a very convenient machine. It runs flux-core wire, which means no inert gas required. The downside to gasless flux-core is that it's harder to get clean welds and you can't weld thin material. You'll also require plenty of air circulation. On the front panel, you'll find a 10-speed wire adjustment knob and 4 settings for your current flow. On the highest setting, the MIG 130 welder runs on a 20% duty cycle, or 2 minutes every 10 minutes. For small projects and minor fixes, that's more than enough time. The 2-fan cooling system in the back means when you overheat the machine you won't wait long for it to reset. The welder comes with everything you need to start right away, including cables, flux-core wire, and a ground clamp. I recommend this product for anyone that wants to try welding and has very limited space and money.